Welcome, welcome. Well, what I meant to say is that we now have the new improved purple berry. Gladly. Welcome, welcome. See anything you like?
There's even the slightest scintilla of success so elude me. Is it my destiny?
The door this tough? They must be storing something good in there.
Yeah, guns, armor, probably some ammunition too. Honestly, Kemp ain't that much of a mystery.
Have you two come to mock me like your fellow dullards? Perhaps if you rub together your only two brain cells, you might even come up with something approaching cutting. No. Wait. You're not some corporate simpleton, are you? On the contrary, you have the manner of an officer about you. Someone who understands the substantive weight of command. From your tone, am I to suppose it didn't end well? Then we share that much in common. My last mission did not exactly go according to plan either, as my imprisonment no doubt suggests. Please, allow me to start over. I am Warden Sterling, dedicated servant of the Protector of Arcadia and caretaker of worlds, the Sovereign Henry Varick. I'm not that kind of warden. It's a title of distinction for those who serve in the Protectorate military, short for Warden of the Realm. And if I did... What a strange argument. Obviously, I would prefer the contents of the armory remain with the Protectorate, but... circumstances being what they are, perhaps you're right. We need more privacy before continuing this conversation. Go to the back of the building, and I shall meet you at the window of my cell. I'll be waiting.
People think I got ejected from the saloon because I'm 3 sheets to the wind.
We should be able to speak freely here without the risk of being overheard. There is an entrance on the roof by which you may gain ingress. Had these two dolts bothered to do even the most cursory inspection, they'd have found it.
Boy, take this terminal and trash it. That's it. I need a smoke.
blazes did you get in there?
Leave me be. I have no interest in dealing with the machinations of you dark marketers today.
Appreciate your help. These weapons are gonna save lives.
Guns after all. Most of these irons look pretty old-fashioned, too. A bit lackluster, if you ask me.
Yeah, it's real sad. Anyway, thanks for your help, friend. We were nigh at our wits' end trying to get into that armory. Now we can stop speculating on what's inside and act.
What do you think, Murph? Guess we could make this some kind of tax write-off.
If anyone asks, you're a professional we hired through the proper channels. Definitely not some nobody drifted in from the aether. Understood? Good.
No target.
I guess the real treasure were the guns we found along the way.
A lot of fresh blood in the talent pool around here. Protect your infrastructure. Not sure how I feel about that.
Nature made apples, but anti-fizz was made no better. With anti-clear patented blood apple cider.
Hey, Gads, the hologram's gone down.
A simple malfunction, perhaps.
An outrage is what I call it. That hologram was our flag planted in the soil of conquered land. That's simple. Simple is our pride, our identity. How can you wage a war if you don't even have a logo? you Protectorate folk feel about all these little rifts? Auntie insists they're the next big money-making opportunity.
Ectoplasm. Wait. Nope. Just taro excrement. Heavens, Auntie, you scared the living daylights out of me. Shouldn't sneak up on a man like that. Good way to earn a bullet betwixt the eyes. Guess I should apologize for all that hullabaloo before. Just mistook you for another unfleshly manifestation. Look, I know how it sounds, like I'm a few crabbles short of a hurt, but it all started the other night. Saw a personage leaving the greenhouse, late. Figured it for Emily, but when I asked her about it, she didn't know what I was talking about. Happened again the next night. Gave chase that time, but lost him hereabouts. I turned a corner and they'd up and vanished. Or maybe this entity only had the strength to manifest but briefly on this mortal coil. Communication would have proven too difficult for a being of pure information. Strangest part is that foodstuffs have also been disappearing from the greenhouse since we took Fairfield. You think it's all connected? I've knocked on doors, peeped a few windows, respectfully, mind you. And I ain't spied anything more exciting than a chair. But then, a being of pure information probably wouldn't linger on this plane any longer than necessary. Too tiresome, would be my guess. Well, maybe. I still don't know all the particulars, yet. But it's one theory. I certainly won't say no to having a fresh set of lamps on the scene. Just be careful. Hate to see...
My cover story has worked. I am safely ensconced at the Vox station, assigned to the lowly Information Input and Retrieval Department. Seems a colony so certain of its absolute control over its subjects can be less than rigorous when it comes to security. I was able to easily widen out a space behind the walls of the main control room to establish my safe room, giving me unfettered access to the communication transfer conduits. I have hacked into their system downstream from the security protocols, so I am able to infiltrate their entire system with them being none the wiser. While I have little doubt as to the success of our mission, trepidation still gnaws at me, though I cannot say why. Perhaps it is simply the normal mission commencement jitters. I thought my duties complete. Information gathered, reports filed, preparations made. I'd even created a fictitious identity and work transfer to Horizon Point Station well ahead of schedule, in order to keep anyone from tracking my movements upon commencing the mission. All that was left was the waiting. Or so I thought. Then, troubling information came to light. I've seen the numbers. I've seen the equations. While I don't understand all of it, I understand enough to know it is the truth. And I am the only one in a position to act upon it, though it means the betrayal of my team and the duty I swore to uphold. But can I? I did it. They are all dead. And I am still alive. I had not expected this. I had prepared no alibi, and so felt assured my ruse would be discovered and I'd not have to carry this burden. But the complete gullibility of the Protectorate subjects cannot be underestimated, it seems. My threadbare excuse of my grievous wounds as pitchball injuries was accepted without question. I can only keep telling myself it had to be done. Something which becomes harder by the day as the rift anomaly grows in the sky. But it was all part of the plan. Wasn't it?
I can't believe this. Void me if I understand any of this. Vries sold us out for what? Because of a few equations? Some dots and lines on a graph? Good fucking law. I mean, she wasn't a damn scientician. She said it herself. She didn't understand all of it, the math. So what was she thinking? How can you be so even-tempered about this? I know you didn't know her like I did. Like I thought I did, but she betrayed us. She killed our friends, Commander. Damn it! I never wanted to talk about this. I wanted to just leave it alone. Told myself, no point in dredging up the past. Should have known it wouldn't rest. Vries may have saved me on Triangulum, but I wasn't the only one looked up to her. Lots of the other recruits talked about her too, back at the academy. We all thought she was the pinnacle of what an agent should be. Tough, smart, ain't a job she couldn't get done. And better and faster than everyone else. It's embarrassing now, how much worship we all put on her name. You figure my own career could be just that. Doing for others, and then she betrayed us. Tried telling myself it was an accident, but now we've got the cold, hard proof it wasn't. Law only knows why she trusted the Order's numbers. The Order of this Sin is just another sect of the Order of believe they can predict the future or some. But 10 years ago, I would have said this. I mean, she always struck me as so pragmatic, real sensible-like. Never figured she'd go all in on predictions from a bunch of monks. Sure, but why act alone instead of reporting her concerns to the brass? What made her believe the Earth? I don't take issue with folks clinging to whatever keeps them afloat, but when those beliefs start to require hurting others, even killing them, that's worth questioning their virtue. If only Vries had shared in our good judgment, huh?
Whatever her plans, she started putting them in place while stationed. Reckon there's gotta be someone on the island who can...
You're back. Why? You read my terminal? How embarrassing. The compliance adjusters broke the door lock when they arrested my predecessor, and I haven't gotten around to fixing it yet. Not that I thought anyone had come snooping. I'd made careful arrangements to tie up everyone's loose ends. Everyone except you, it seems. So, why are you so interested in my other work? You're not part of compliance. Huh. Assertive, ambitious, and aggressively self-deterministic? A go-getter who's not afraid of getting into the muck if there might be profit in it? You know, I've been looking for some backfills with the kind of cleverness usually only found on the seedy lower decks of the claim. Feel like making a few bits? I'm part of Sub Rosa. We're a group of merchants, information brokers, and commodity traders who deal outside the systems most folk are confined by. We're the best way to get things done in anti-space if you're looking for profit. Want to buy it, sell it, move it? We've got someone to do it for you. Puh, they were rubes, nitwits. Dolts so lacking in faculties that they couldn't handle the minuscule, and by that I mean damn tiny, amount of discretion this job requires. They had to be dealt with so we could all get back to work. And now that I'm here, things will be running right smoothly. So, long as your brain pan's filled with more than a half-dead sprat spinning on a rusty wheel, I absolutely guarantee this is a no-risk venture. Well, isn't that just wonderful? I had no suspicion when you walked through my door that you'd help resolve the last of the morass Paradise Island has become for us. And all we need you to do is access Quartermaster Cardosa's terminal and scrub any Spectrum vodka from her ledgers. It's already been resold, so having it in her system could become problematic. Expunge it, and I get you some bits, and the friendship of Sub Rosa all over the system. You get me? Because we are the black market in Arcadia. Odds are, at some point, you're going to need something you just can't get legally. Then you'll be thrilled we're associated. Sub Rosa feeds that appetite to not just survive, but to thrive. And that's taking all of us places. We're more than simple opportunists. We are opportunistically driven. Trust me, for both short-term benefits and long-term prospects, you want to be our friend. And I'll be waiting here with your bits.
Gonna need a bigger storeroom for all these orders. Let me guess. Gun keeps jamming, armor don't quite fit snug as you like. State your division and I'll get you outfitted, quick and proper, or your next provision's free. If you're not with a specific division, I'm supposed to take down a name before. As Chief Replenishment Officer, it's my privileged duty to furnish our break. Tell me what you need, and I'll do my ample best to supply you. I'm sure you'll find something to your liking. Idiot people. What do you need this time? Those hoople heads. First they botched their work up here, now the Grove. If there were medals for incompetence, they'd be well decorated. Well, I thank you for helping them out. Sorry you had to go out of your way. Good eye. Though I'd say they're better than nice. Got more armor than a hammerclaw, but if things had turned out differently, it might be someone else standing here, while I'd be off piloting one of those beauties. Don't have the aptitude for flight, apparently. But this role suits me fine. I like the upward mobility, in the metaphorical business sense, I mean. What? She'll start bleeding fuel during ascent, if not worse. I'd best go and take a quick gander, just in case. Thanks for the tip. She looks all right. Nah, mechanics must have already gotten to the issue. I wonder if that's why Arlie was here today.
Schedule an appointment if you need to talk to me.
The target, not on the ground, recruits. Eyes open when you pull the trigger. Can't shoot what you can't see.
Fairfield's hologram is not currently operating, pending scheduled improvements. Rest assured that the beacon of Auntie's choice will shine again.
Hello again. You get that inventory issue sorted? How grand. That officially mops up the last of the mess from the buffoons that came before me. And, as promised, my good fortune is also your good fortune. And while this might be a tad fewer bits than you were hoping for, remember, you've also made allies that you'll find all across Arcadia. Just keep watching for paintings of a stylish yellow rose with a split black circle near the middle. Like the one you passed on your way in. Find that rose, and you find Sub Rosa.
Am I going to need to find a job?
You certainly can't have mine. What kind of skills do you have?
Whatever skills are needed. I'm just a cog in the system, and the system abides.
Hey, that's pretty catchy. Might have to feature an advertisement.
Fine, said Rosa.
This new corporate life is all so confusing for us protectorate folk. Do you mind if I ask you a question?
Sure, shoot.
Thank you.
Are you gonna ask your question?
I did.
I suppose it was only a matter of time until we were discovered. Though what an odd thing to die for. Apples. Spare me such timid drip. Of course I know why you're really here. You have come to exact retribution for our larceny at your the greenhouse's stolen bounty. Offered a healthy alternative to gorging ourselves on that vending machine poison. Alas, I was spotted on 1 or 2 forays. Starving? Hardly. We have greater stores of strength than you suppose. This hunger is a momentary distraction, nothing more. Such intimidation tactics will...
Is this a secret cellar? And hidden in plain sight, damn near. Guess the greenhouse, well, if they're only
Let no...
Ready to wait.
Guess I had this mystery all wrong. Small part of me was hoping... Nah, never mind. It's downright foolish. I lost a friend in the invasion. A good friend. Thought maybe all this was her trying to send me a I appreciate that.
rumors flying around about the rifts. The lab coats can't figure them out. Some people worship them. They're becoming unstable. What if they follow us up?
Your upper story must be more damaged than this launcher. If you're back, I'm here to do a job, not make friends. Maybe I'd feel differently if only I hadn't misplaced my repair manual last week. This would have been a cinch. All right, so you got her working. Bully for you. You did good work. Try not to let it grow your hat size. Oh, and before you ride off, hold on. Give me a second to find them. Here. Managed to cobble some frags together from a damaged mine earlier. Who knows? Might get you out of a pinch one of these days. And seeing how expertly you worked, you may as well take this armor modification too. I'm sure you'll have an easier time installing it than I would.
Too much Spacer's Ale? Try Auntie's Choice Pep Pills. Good for what ails you.
This paradigm of yours, or sovereign, or whatever, does it really provide everything you want?
We are provided everything you need.
Whether it's an orifice or a face, Auntie's Choice makes a cream for it.
Would pulverizing them suffice? No, I could... Approach with less haste next time, won't you? Copernicus may be tame, but he still doesn't take kindly to being startled. I am Ethel Tinsley, chimeric scientist. I'm responsible for taming this delightful raptidon here. He will protect our fair town from his feral brethren in the wilds. Theoretically, Officer Carr has been in a state waiting for me to train the raptidons to, maul on command. It's rather pressing, and alas, one scientist turned tamer can only do so much. One might say I'm perhaps a bit on edge. Folk here have grown weary, shall we say, with the war effort, and with avoiding Carr and the minister's would-be fisticuffs. If you too have spotted the chasm between them, I fear the Protectorate would have already pinpointed the way with which to exploit. I'm unused to the way things are done here, I suppose. The Protectorate leadership never behaved in such a manner. which I would not mind if the threat of annihilation weren't hanging up. I would much rather stay here. One wishes to woo Protectorate subjects to our ranks. The other wishes to secure a decisive victory with weaponry and technology. Very well. I ought to focus more on my work. I work directly with Officer Carr and her soldiers to ensure they're outfitted with the best raptidon. In theory, they'll be trusted to guard our most precious assets, including our leadership. For now, they deter encroachment from wild raptidons. It's most agreeable. Trust me, they are safe. I would not be here if this experiment was still...
Temperature level.
Executive skill building continues. Well, at least for me. Can't speak for my inept colleagues. Today's task, leverage teamwork and leadership to navigate a risky landscape blindfolded.
Which you apparently interpreted as just shout at everyone.
It's called delegating. At least I participated, Cobb.
I told you. I got a bad scrumpox flare-up.
Of course, I served as leader of this activity. A thankless job. Cohorts tripping all over. Sprains, blunt force trauma. It's not my fault these tanglefoot can't follow directions.
Stillwell and Lumberg blew up.
Duly noted for the log. Quite the oversight from management to set this exercise in an uncharted minefield. Someone will catch hell when I'm an important VP. Soon enough.
Oh, what's this? Non-protectorate personnel just sauntering up onto my porch, free as they please. Admit I'm accustomed to a higher standard of precaution. State your purpose, outsider, or exit yon way you came. Ah, I see you've discovered some of my misappropriated materials. Careful labeling proves prudent and useful yet again. Here, for your effort. A full set of Science Adventures Quarterly was stolen from me and sold to various unknown parties across the island. Since you've already proven adept at their repossession, I would put it to you to locate the rest. In exchange, I will provide you with rarities and bits. In my role, I compile material providing special insight on other colonies. Items prohibited to others, news logs, serials, and the like. During recent troubles, unsavory elements removed certain items from my old office. Among them, this entire series, which took considerable time to assemble, I might add. A form of manipulatory ideation disguised as popular entertainment, intended to sway the audience to their point of view. Specifically, an Earth Directorate periodical featuring beloved fictional characters Commander Zane and Buddy. An effective mental conditioning device. And right thrilling. Why, to reclaim lost Protectorate property, first and foremost. The line represented a growth of the medium, its remarkable popularity. Not only the brief window surrounding the volume's release saw a marked increase in skip drone requests for Earth Directorate aid. I believe there remains much to learn from them. It was whether they faced automechanical industrialists or robber magnates from the Plutocrian kleptocracy, their tales remained, quite. I am pleased. Return again when you stay true, outsider.
Seems nowhere on Paradise Island's gone untouched by this war.
Confronting threat.
Give the order and I'll take care of it, Commander.
Hey you! Get over here before you get yourself killed! No, you ain't got what I need. And you can't come stumbling around here looking like prey. These raps ain't had a bite to eat since their pods dropped from the look of it. And a desperate rapt is a dangerous rapt. Meant no offense. You ain't one of Auntie's, and from the look of things, the Protectorate here didn't put up much of a fight. Me and Raptidons, we're well acquainted. I know their patterns, behaviors, attacks. Know what gives them an edge around folk who ain't in possession of that knowledge. Which is why I gotta ask, what are you doing here? Oh, that's a high-profile target. Huh. If she entrusted that to you, then I reckon we're on the same side. Or something like it. I'm Inez Silung, Auntie's choice. Former combat medic in the Enhanced Soldier Division. Now, menial troubleshooter. Minister Milverstreet of Fairfield sent me here to retrieve some information. Not my most exciting assignment, but suppose we can't expect much with the stalemate on this island. I'll admit I was eager for some good hunting around here. My graft, needs some bolstering. But if the raps here are as weak as this one, it won't help me none. When there's paperwork, there's enemy secrets. And dropping Raptidons on the place is a quick way to stop any personnel keen on destroying those secrets before we find them. It's a kinder fate than if they survived. Allowing us to walk off with this intel would surely land any survivor in front of the firing squad. Or send to mental refreshment. Far as I can tell, it's the polite name for re-education camp. If you've got the misfortune of being Protectorate, you live under the watchful eye of the Sentinels. You even think of stepping out of line, they pay you a visit and send you off. To where exactly, ain't sure. But you'll be getting obedience kicked into you. And apparently there's some highly sensitive intel about mental refreshment hereabouts. The minister sent me here to find it. I've had worse. Most times it's mundane work, like paper pushing or tidying Milver Street Salon. Other times it's bloodier, but the rat pods made quick work of the folk here. Can't exactly afford to be picky about the jobs that come my way neither. Considering my condition, options are limited. If you had, you'd know. Unless you're accustomed to seeing folk roaming around with exposed muscle fibers or stunted extra limbs on their backs. Sorry. Guess I'm just used to folks staring real hard and then steering clear. I'm considered a liability. My graph's all wrong. Most everyone else who got one passed or became permanently incapacitated. So they shuttered the program. It was a total failure. Everyone in Fairfield reckons my time will come soon, too. But I'm still mostly upright. For now. I just know I can do more for Auntie and for the war. It's... weren't many of us crafted soldiers to begin with. To think I'm one of the lucky ones. No. Enhanced Soldier Division was the fancy public-facing name for the grafting program. Bet they'd erase it from the financial records if they could. It was that... I only been able to treat my own ailments thanks to Doc Tinsley in Fairfield. She worked for the program for a time. She's a good one. She's bound by contract to work on whatever task Fairfield's illustrious leader set her to. Nothing else. But she also ain't quite got the hang of the employment thing. You looked at the fine print of an employment contract lately? It says any action taken by a worker that could result in impeded work must be approved by the contract holder. Not only would trying to fix my graft impede my work, but it's also financially unviable, unproven, a risky investment. So I'm stuck with a limb that's slowly poisoning me. Could pursue fixing it myself were I out of my contract, but if I attempted to end it, I'd have to waive all employment rights for the next year. That's a non-starter. Let me put it this way. If I was already on the bottom rung, this knocks me clean off and buries me in sand. But I started from nothing before. I could do it again. Maybe. Get the feeling you will. Go on now. There's probably plenty of Protectorate info waiting to be scooped up if you're keen. Just mind the wraps. I got what I came for, so I reckon it's time to see about my contract. Law knows I could use a lucky break.
Just me, or did Inez remind you of Helen? Tough like her. Shame she's with Auntie's choice. I'll take fighting raps over living in a surveillance state any day of the week.
swings.
Even our most capable defenders are well defended. Consider our Arbiter training facility, east of Fairfield, near the Broken Spire. It is impervious to infiltration thanks to its unflagging automechanical guardians. Only the most incautious base individuals would dare set foot within sensor range. Let them hesitate. Those who live solely for themselves die.
Auntie's Choice knows that a better you. 3 pills and an ointment away.
Can't believe some of those protectorate hull heads just couldn't see the benefit of self-betterment.
Yeah, let them simmer in themselves.
You ever find yourself with too much disposable income? I got plenty of ideas on how to dispose of it.
Minister, I'm telling you I can do more. I've been proving myself to you time and again, haven't I? All I'm asking is a mite of trust. Let me fix my arm and I'll...
Calm down. You know the risks you enhanced troopers present. My utilizing you at all was a kindness on your behalf.
I'll calm down when you stop bringing your little excuses. How about that?
My, such aggression. You scarcely need add hostility to your list of inadequacies, hmm? Do try to understand my perspective. You were so lethargic returning, I had you pre-marked as a casualty. Do you know how many forms I've had to fill out on your behalf?
Now hold on. I went into enemy territory crawling with dangerous creatures for you alone to get some dusty report. And you got the audacity to complain about paperwork? If this contract weren't staying my hand, I reckon you'd be answering to it right about now. That's surely the most tempting offer I've heard all day.
Please pay this disgruntled employee no mind. What would she do without Auntie's hand to guide her if she were unemployed? I should think death a preferable alternative.
That's it. I'd rather be a down-and-outer for the rest of my life than crushed under your counterfeit leather boa boot a second longer. I quit!
It most assuredly is not good for her. This is unheard of, and I might add, you'll not be welcome with an Auntie's Choice once more. We'll not take a contract shirker back into our fold.
So you say, but Auntie's Choice ain't seen a trooper like me before. You'll regret counting me out. Till then, I hope you choke on your mock apple martinis. If you're serious about that job offer, come find me when you're done with this clown.
She will most assuredly regret her decision, most assuredly. But I suppose that is no longer my concern. Troopers abandoning their contracts, blackguards like you running rampant. What is becoming of this island? I fear I may never know.
choose just any choice.
Minister, I'm telling you I can do more.
Do try to
Now hold. If this contract weren't staying my hand...
You mean grant preferential treatment to a subpar contractor?
And if I die or...
Please pay this disgruntled...
That's it. I'd rather be a down-and-outer for the rest of my...
What? I have done nothing to deserve such barbaric treatment. This is a...
So you say. And you...
Sheep troopers abandoning their con... No.
All done in there? Hope that little dust up back there didn't put you off. My contract had me caged, and I was glad to get a few licks in during the jailbreak. I'd like to take you up on your offer, if you're good for it. You're going places. Could be I'm keen on heading that direction myself. If you help me fix my graft, you'll retain the services of a fully functioning enhanced soldier. Me. Don't matter what you set your mind to, together we'll be unstoppable. And in time, maybe I'll have earned myself the clout to be welcomed back into Auntie's choice. I can be on my own for a time, but I'd rather it not be permanent. Besides, where else can I turn from nothing to something? I did, but I can't expect someone else to foot the bill if there's no guaranteed treatment will work. So I'll take on the risk myself. A go-getter attitude's always rewarded. I get it. You're skeptical. If you got more questions, go on and ask them. You'll not find me hiding anything in the fine print. Had a feeling you knew a good offer when you seen it. Once I'm in top form, you'll be pleasantly surprised to see what I'm capable of. Just gotta find out how to get there first. Doc Tinsley worked with grafts for some time before she came to Fairfield. Damn fine scientist. Reckon we should visit her lab at the edge of town to see if she's got ideas for us.
This much of a crowd's not likely to keep a low profile. Someone ought to head back to mind the ship.
Acknowledged.
After you. Appreciate you agreeing to help, but the arm's itching something fierce. Ready to do away with it. Anyhow, was there something you needed, Commander? How personal are we talking? Couldn't say. I was in it all of 2 days before my graft started festering. Before that, I was an infantry medic. Our platoon was one of the first to touch down in Arcadia. I would have continued serving on the front line in an upgraded capacity, but, well, once the state of my graft became apparent, it was decided that parting ways would be best. Like garbage? I'd like to hope the captain and the surgeon who performed the operation were a bit more considering than that. Look, I knew dismissal was a possibility when I volunteered for the procedure. A successful graft is a boon, a failed one is a colossal liability. I'm a walking lesson in breakage. That's a nice sentiment. Did you pull it directly from a children's serial? Sorry. It's just increasingly clear you've not had many dealings with the corporation or its leaders. This is the way of things in Auntie's Choice. If you can't prove your worth, you're left behind. And that's why I'm here, trying to play catch-up. I miss my platoon, most of the time. I hope they're holding on okay wherever they are. Huh. If nothing else, they'll have Ortiz to keep up morale. I know the nonstop jokes from that bastard sustained me for weeks. Yeah, he's tough. He'll be all right. Of course I do. Can't help but wonder if I'm missed in return. Anyhow, I would rather return to the matter at hand. No use dwelling on those out of sight and out of mind. Right. Like ain't the word I'd use, even before I was itching to tear up my contract and set it aflame. Auntie gave me autonomy, gave me the choice to do more than just struggle to survive. They treated me better than my last employers did, and despite recent events, I believe in their mission. We can give folk here in Arcadia a better life. I'm well aware, Sprat-ass. I see no reason to be complimentary unless it's truly earned. You can think what you like, but my focus is on the people. I want to do for them what Auntie's Choice did for me. They ain't perfect, but they're a damn sight better than the competition. I ain't the only one who welcomed the chance to enlist with open arms, I'll tell you that. The same could happen here. Can't blame them for cutting their losses. What they've done for me more than outweighs how I'm feeling now. If I'd been in this position with any other corp, I'd be dead. Now, do I got qualms with Auntie? Sure. But I'll tell you what, when she overthrew those Spacer's Choice bastards in Tau Ceti, my home system, that takeover was the best thing that ever happened to us, even if it took time to see it. But I reckon that's a tale for another day. That all you wanted to discuss, or... Fine by me. Not great. It was a mining colony under Spacer's Choice. Didn't have much, but my parents worked hard to ensure we had shelter and a warm meal every day. They're good folk. I love them. But I don't think they ever quite grasped how bad things were before Auntie's Choice came. They warned me not to join up, you know. Said we'd all get burned if we put too much stock in the promises of this foreign corporation. But I'd rather take a risk on them than be resigned to how things were. Our colony was isolated, which meant our Spacer's Choice overlords could do as they saw fit. Everyone lived in squalor, save for a select few. We were little more than workhorses. Those of us at the bottom only found joy with our families, our friends. But love alone can't get you through the toughest, darkest winters. I miss the sunsets, and my folks, though I know they're well taken care of nowadays. But that's about it. Most of my friends joined up when I did, so we took our community with us. Leaving my hometown itself, it was an eager farewell. Though there is one person I keep thinking of, the grandpa who lived next door, Vincent. He used to draw posters and ads for Spacer's Choice. He had style. Of course, that didn't last. Age caught up and his hands started failing him. Couldn't draw, couldn't lift heavy objects, could hardly walk without exerting himself. And in Tau Ceti, if you couldn't work, you didn't get ration cards. We shared what we could with him, of course, but what we got already wasn't much. Last day I saw him, he refused the half-salt tuna can I tried to give him. Said it was him lending me his strength. He was gone the next day. We searched all over, then realized he must have wandered off into the wilderness. We never found him. So if you're wondering why I still hold a candle for Auntie's choice, after everything, it's because I know had Auntie arrived just 4 months earlier, Vincent might still be alive. It's been years now since I talked about it. He was a good man. He deserved better. So did the rest of us. Anyhow, ain't meaning to talk your ear off. Appreciate you. Anyhow, was there something you needed, Commander? How personal are we talking? Well, like I said, we were both in the same unit. Me as a combat medic, him as a machine gunner. Everyone in my unit was from Tau Ceti, so we already had that in common. And we served on the front lines, which made us look out for one another that much more. See, most of us were laborers, and we just got our first real shot at something greater. We wanted to make a name for ourselves, and what better way to do that than become a hero? Our onboarders promised that if we demonstrated exceptionalism, showed initiative, that we'd get promoted quick. And our days of living in squalor would be far behind us. It ain't like they forced us to join up. We did that on our own. And it said in our contract that they could send us wherever we were needed. Can't complain if where we're needed is in a trench staring down the barrels of a minigun. I reckon that's a difference in perspective. We spent a week crouched in the same foxhole under aerial bombardment. Shared water one sip at a time by the end of it. Anyone would have been friends after that. I don't know if I would have made it out alive without him. Maybe I'll tell him that over a beer one day. Praise him in front of the whole saloon. Law knows he's got a thing for heroics. Better than I'd feared. Only had to bury 2 troopers and amputate 5 limbs. I'm thankful every day that the Protectorate can't aim for shit. He kept me clear-headed. Every so often there'd be a lull in the bombardments and I'd hear voices all across the field, calling out for aid, for mama, for death. Almost got my head clean taken off when I tried to scramble out of the foxhole the first night. I heard a call for help and moved on instinct. Ortiz told me not to panic, to wait till he could provide cover, to just shout first aid instructions where I could. It was too valuable to fall in battle, he said. It was a rough few nights at first, knowing I couldn't help folk who needed it. And the reward for that torment was my life. I appreciate that, Commander. In any case, I'm only standing here because of a damn fine soldier who became my friend. I'll carry that knowledge always. Fine by me?
Been working at that spot of business we discussed. Easier to lead with fewer targets nibbling at your psyche. Loose your words. I'm listening. Let me spin you a yarn. One of my elite regiments ceased replying to hails several weeks ago. Hardy bunch. Fought all across the system. Yesterday, the Protectorate launched the regiment commander's upper torso into one of our encampments, which makes 2 1/3 complete corpses of a 6-person unit. Mocking us. Calculating bastards, the Protectorate. Would admire their efficacy if it weren't taking so many of my best and brightest. Once the fighting reignites in full, they'll pay dearly. Aye, that they do. Dense morale something fierce. Seems Milver Street is good for something after all. I can almost respect the Protectorate's efficiency, though doing so would be easier while standing on the backs of their capitulating leaders. Man doesn't seem to understand there's an order to things. Convert your enemies after the war ends, not before. Try too early, you got saboteurs, spies, and the unruly. It's a poor use of our resources, inefficient at best, actively detrimental to our work at worst. And if there's one thing I despise worse than our foes, it's the poor use of resources.
The K lets you know it's authentic. Now with percent of your daily chemicals and preservatives.
Every time I think I'm having a bad day, I just tell 'em.
Why choose just any choice when you can... Auntie's choice. Remember, Auntie knows best. Auntie's choice is the proud maker of Spacer's Chaw, Zero-G Brew, and antibiotics. Everything you need.
Hello again. Was there something you... Oh, Inez! You look, well, like you could use an ice bath and a cup of newly formulated trip teas. Has something happened?
Something has, all right. I ended my contract effective immediately. Now I'm free to prove myself to everyone in Auntie's choice. My way.
Well, that's wonderful news. Or is it? I admit I'm still trying to work through what contracts mean hereabouts. But you do appear to be pleased, so I shall be pleased for you. Ah, that is not common knowledge in this town. But since Inez appears to trust you, I suppose I can do the same. Before I began my new illustrious career working with our tame, scarily friends here, I was a researcher in the Enhanced Soldier Division. Oh, I was on the verge of breakthrough when they shut us down. Oh, when I think of the lives I could have reached. But in my current role, I do try to help where I can.
Where my own first aid training can't reach, Doc's got me covered. The graft knocked me on my ass for weeks when I first got it. She nursed me back to health.
Would if I could have done more.
Despite your insinuation, there are plenty of good folk around here, but perhaps not many with Doc's particular skills.
I understand your reservation, but I do care.
Manatee's choice is the proud maker of Spacer's Chaw, Zero-G Brew, and antibiotics.
Hello again. Oh,
Something happened.
Well, that's wonderful news. Or is it? I admit I'm still trying to work through what contracts mean here. Before
where my own first aid training can't reach.
Would if I could have done more. Right. I have a lead, Inez. I've identified 2 viable beasts on this island that you may be compatible with. Though it may not be easy to acquire the suitable specimens. The first candidate is the skeleton crabble. It has a rare form of albinism and was last spotted on the western coast by Protectorate scientists, who, unfortunately, went missing. I happened upon an old report of theirs along with a code used to operate their machinery. If their fate is what I suspect, the code may be of use to you.
I heard rumors of the creature myself. Our skeleton sounds a good bit larger than the average crabble. Meaner and smarter, too.
The second candidate is a raptidon matriarch, the only one of her kind on the island as I understand it. She was last spotted in the crags near the Vox Relay.
Deep in Protectorate territory. This matriarch sure ain't making it easy for us. She'll be more aggressive and more cunning than her smaller kin.
When you breach the matriarch's lair, you must rouse her from hibernation. I found pheromones to be quite effective. Inez, I'm certain you know a formula that may suffice.
That I do.
Excellent. It'll be a rather unpleasant wake-up call for the matriarch, so she'll be upon you in moments. I suggest your armaments be at the ready. Then the grafting part is yours. Yes, though I would recommend a careful surgical removal of the specimens, please. Now, when you acquire one or both of these parts, return here straight away, and we can begin surgery. Matriarch, Law guide you both out there.
Eden's hinterlands would be more pleasant if Auntie didn't airdrop them raptidons willy-nilly. Sure makes getting from A to B a pain.
Blame Spacer's choice. They're the ones who first weaponized livestock in such a manner. Auntie just acquired and rebranded the idea when she came to Tau Ceti.
Right. Poor Auntie. Her hands were tied.
Those burrows? The skeleton's nearby. And if it's as nearby as I think, it don't bode well for those scientists. Well, you hate to be proven right. These folk have been dead a while. And that must be the machinery Doc mentioned. Over here, Commander. Huh. Seems this terminal reroutes power to speakers around the cave. They were using sound to lure the Crabbles out. Let's see here. Generator's back on. Power up that phonotron, would you? It'd cause enough ruckus to make the skeleton come out and play.
And what am I supposed to do? Just stand around and look pretty?
Well, if the commander's keen to share, you can press the button too. Wouldn't want you feeling left out.
Just say when. Should hit the broad side of a sprayer. Over here! Free hole in the head!
Well, that phonotron was effective. Now we just need the specimen. Mind the pincers. They can be a little feisty even after death. Nice work! Mind bringing it over here so I can take a gander? Muscular reticulation's still intact. Cartilaginous integrity mostly sound. A good clean cut. And the pincer's still sharp. Yeah, this'll do just fine. Shame about all the scientists, though. I was hoping this wouldn't be too steep a price. Yeah, this phonotron had been programmed to imitate a Crabble's calls during mating season. quite effectively grabs their attention, but it also, has them raring for a fight. If you're sending out a formal invitation for trouble, you best be prepared to receive it. Anyway, don't ask me how I know about crabble mating behaviors. Listen here. I'm not some kind of enthusiast for crabble mating rituals. I'm observant. I've taken a shine to biology. And I've seen much on this damn... If you still got some hunting you, that Raptidon matriarch's on the loose. Her den's not far from the Vox Relay up north. Elsewise, we head back to Fairfield and speak to Doc Tinsley. North it is.
The insides are leaking outside, Commander. Sorry, ain't ready yet. Ain't recharged.
Consider finding a human companion if you seek conversation.
subject, loyal subject. La la la. Hello. How are you, El? Are you doing today? I'm spectacular according to regulation. I'm just, that sounds correct.
He's coming out to spot folk. If you're that new salesperson, don't bother. Whoever was here packed up and I just came out here to take classes on the old streets. And again, I look for this protectorate, idiot.
Yeah.
Let me know when you need a distraction. Appreciate a little help, Commander. Knew you had my...
Little pick-me-up for ya.
Not walking this off. Stand me back up.
Sci-Fi subjected it to a large amount of N-rays, then hit it with the hammer. Oh, hello there. Welcome to my little slice of paradise in paradise. I didn't hear you come in. I'm focused something fierce on my current project, you see. Well, aren't you the observant one? Yes, a crabble egg. I'm more than happy to tell you all the details of my project, since you asked. Like I was saying, friend, this here crabble egg is gonna make me a mountain of bits. See, crabble eggs contain carbon, oxygen, iron, and are each self-contained units. You know what else has all those things? Skip drives. Yeah, that's right. I'm gonna make me a mountain of bits selling skip drives made from crabble egg. I'm basically there. I just need to figure out the process of turning the eggs into skip drives. And I'll be off to the races. Oh, wow, really? Everyone else told me I was mad. I really appreciate your words of encouragement, friend. I'll make sure you get one of the very first crabble-based skip drives. Please take this as a small thank you. It is? Fascinating. Did you see any unusual behavior? Any changes in crabble familial dynamics? Or the emergence of any new evolutionary traits? That is a physical impossibility. They lack the opposable thumbs necessary to sign paperwork. In this lab, we only deal with the cold, hard facts of science. Unless they also just evolved opposable thumbs. Evolution and familial changes in one go. This is so exciting. Once I finish this experiment, I'll head out to see for myself. Oh, and please take this with you. Just a small thank you for providing me with such exciting and useful information.
Eden's hinterlands would be more pleasant if Auntie didn't airdrop them raptidons willy-nilly. Sure makes getting from A to B a pain.
Blame Spacer's choice. They're the ones who first weaponized livestock in such a manner. Auntie just acquired and rebranded the idea when she came to Tau Ceti.
Right. Poor Auntie. Her hands were tied. I heard you all bred the raps for diet toothpaste and such originally. Only taught them to heal and kill later.
Ain't sure who you all is referring to. Me? I prefer for the raps to stay wild. Look alive, Commander.
You put slow, Commander. Kill them before you die.
Shell here, with the only task I'm unwilling to delegate. Logging our progress in the Promotion Acceleration Program.
Who would you delegate it to? We're the only ones left.
For once, you make a point, Cobb. Today's exercise really narrowed the playing field. We were tasked to analyze how the introduced Raptidon population adapted to the island. I'll admit, I took a hands-off approach. Probably why I still have my hands. And face. A few cohorts misreckoned those sneaky raps. Among the eaten, Wall Monitor Lindergaard, probably mispronouncing that. Vat Sanitizer Kavil Stahl, definitely mispronouncing that.
Pick up the pace, Cutshaw. These raps can be anywhere, and we're both a mite ripe.
I'll finish when I'm good and finished. Oh, okay, I'm finished. Grab your gear and let's hoof it to the final skill building activity, Cobb. Quit your loafing!
Initializing. Resuming grapple control patrol. Please stand awaiting hostilities. Please stand by until hostilities commence.
On your command. Nobody around. No target. I'm the one to be worried about. You lot couldn't hit the broadside of a freighter. In addition to my trigger finger's still tight. The uncomplicated and my rates. are never lower.
Oh, Lucy. I don't suppose you know anything about crabble medicine, do you? So, it seems as though the issue ultimately boils down to two words: purpleberry crunch. Yeah, I brought a box from that fancy new shop in town, and Lucy... Oh, this is Lucy, by the way. Little Lucy became fully frantic when she smelled it, so I figured it couldn't hurt. The box says they're packed with healthy preservatives, so it's gotta be good for you, right? But I guess I was wrong. Now she won't get up. And these crabbles, they mean the world to us. We raised them from hatchlings, and I'll be broken if Lucy dies because of me. I promise. I swear it on every precious egg we've got growing in our incubator. Any help you can offer is more than I've been able to do for her so far, and I'd be grateful for the try. She looks fine. I can hardly believe my lamps. Looks like she's feeling much better, and I think she's taken a liking to you. Good luck shaking her off you now. Once they're smitten, they try and stick to you like a canid. Now, I don't have too many bits to pay you with, but this'll unlock that old safe in the house. It wasn't mine to begin with, so you're welcome to anything in it.
Auntie's Choice knows. You is just 3 pills and an ointment away.
This whole capitalism thing isn't so dreadful after all. It even allowed me a choice between fishing and sanitary engineering.
That's far more freedom than we were ever offered while living under the Protectorate. Hello. You must be a new, co-worker. No.
Here to do some fishing?
My mistake. You're obviously just passing through. If your travels take you further south, please be mindful of your
There is no community without stupidity. Watch any neighbor coasting low. Watch any neighbor eating slow. Take good protection everywhere you go. Everyone staying in the know.
Apologies, but an automechanical's work is never concluded.
It was great. This one was for Niles, right? It was great meeting you, Niles. You're right. An agent's life is a busy one, and there's little...
Anti-Fizzo's Spectrum Vodka. You asked for new flavors of vodka, and we heard you.